Genesis, the startup brand from Hyundai Motor Company. They've only been around a few years, but you know what? They are coming out with some extremely good products, and they're competing with cars from not only like the Japanese like Lexus and Acura, but the Germans like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. And they're competing with the best of the best. The GV70 is Genesis' most important vehicle. Compact crossovers are on the rise in America, as most of you guys know, and this is their latest entry. This is the GV70. The GV70 is built on the same platform as the G70, similar to how the G80 and the GV80 are related. But this thing, whoo, it has absolutely blown away all of my expectations of this vehicle. The one that I'm in right now is finished in a paint called Melbourne Gray. And to be completely honest with you, the amount of people that turn their heads to look at this car is pretty wicked. The outside has really great styling all around. Looking out over the hood, we've got these nice bulges that kind of give you a performance car feel. You've got the Genesis split design for the headlights and the taillights, which I have absolutely come to love. Down the side, we've got power folding mirrors, and something that I thought was really cool about this vehicle is the side view mirrors are actually auto dimming, just like the rear view. Not a lot of cars have that, but that's something that I definitely felt was worth mentioning. We've got some really great body lines on the outside of this car too. Everywhere from the front, wrapping all the way to the back. The design just really brings your eyes from the front to the back. You've got a giant Genesis grille in the front, which looks phenomenal. I really like the rounded shape that they went with on this and the G70. Sets it apart from the G80 and the GV80, but you know what? I really like that. And honestly, I think I like this style of the grille better than the other one, which, you know, it's all preference. Around back, we have some really cool elements as well. You can see we've got the split lighting design yet again. You have your trunk release button here hidden on the wiper, which I always thought was kind of cool. And then also, and if you look at the bottom, next to these two dual exhausts, you'll see that we've got a bit of a pattern. And one thing that I thought was really cool is that pattern is taken directly from the grille. And not only is it found on the back, it's found on the grille, it's found on the vents, it's found on your pedals, which is really neat, and it's found in a few other places. The symmetry is definitely something I've come to expect in this GV70. And the powertrain is all new as well. So this is rocking the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 from Genesis, and it's got the 8-speed automatic trans. And honestly, it's very responsive. I'm cruising around, doing about 40, and if I put my foot down, there is a kick down, thank you, Albert Bierman. It just goes, and it hits the next gear really hard, which pulls you back into your seat, something that I absolutely love in a vehicle like this. You got your steering is very tight, and it kind of just, you really feel the back of the vehicle following the front tires, which is really cool. This vehicle also has Smart Park, which I think is really neat. If you see your key fob, we've got an arrow going forward and an arrow going back. So if I hold down the parking button here and I pull up to a space, it'll find me a space. I can get out of the car, just leave it running, and hold the parking button on the key fob, and it'll pull right into the spot. That's pretty cool. So other than Smart Park on the key, we have a button to bring on the lights when it's dark out to help you find your GV70 in the dark, which is nice. You also have your trunk button, your panic button, and a remote start. So this vehicle literally has everything. But let's talk about the interior, because that's where the GV70 really shines. All right, so in the interior, you've got really premium materials all around. And when I say that this vehicle competes with Lexus, BMW, and Mercedes, like, I mean it. The interior styling is not only fantastic, but you also have really premium materials all over the place. So here on the door cards, you've got nice soft touch leather up top. You got more soft touch leather right here. All of this stitching that wraps all the way around the dash looks absolutely phenomenal. So two of my favorite features on this GV70. My number one absolute favorite feature is probably gonna be this oval that encases your climate controls, your auto stop, your dimming over here, and it's all encased in an ambient light. That is a really sleek look, and it looks extremely premium as well. And then my second absolute favorite styling cue on the interior of the GV70, we have this line that runs all the way around the dash. It goes above your gauges and it runs all the way into the passenger door. That's really sweet, and it really adds some symmetry to the interior of the GV70. I love that. So with this 8-speed trans and the powertrain, you get paddle shifters, and not only does this car handle extremely well, it's very responsive too. So the paddle shifters do exactly what you want them to do, and they're very clicky. I absolutely am in love with that. So if I click down a gear, it responds instantly. If I hit the gas, it pulls the next gear absolutely seamlessly. This is a really, really, really good engine and trans combo. This vehicle's also gonna sip gas when you want it to. So if I just put it into eco mode here and cruise along, we're gonna get some absolutely phenomenal gas mileage numbers, something that in an SUV that you're gonna be driving most likely daily is something to appreciate. The one that we're in is the Sport Prestige, and that has a lot of really nice features. We have a suede headliner, we've got a heads-up display, the digital 3D gauge cluster, which is kind of cool. If you get dizzy easily, don't worry, you can disable it, so that's really nice too. And honestly, just the interior of this car is phenomenal. We've got heated and cooled seats, we have a heated steering wheel, automatic climate control. It is a touchscreen, and usually I don't like that kind of thing, but it's got haptic feedback and all your controls stay the same no matter what screen you're in. So it's not like you're gonna have to dig through the screen just to change your climate controls. If I wanna turn up the fan, it's right there. It's really easy. And when you click it, you get this really satisfying like click. It's a vibration, but it feels like a click. So being in the Sport Prestige, we've got Nappa leather here on our seats, as well as some microfiber suede. It's really comfortable, and with the cooled seats on, I could definitely get used to this in here. So on the driver's seat, we have an ergo motion seat, which is Genesis's fancy way of saying kind of massage, kind of not. Basically, it's got this pelvis massage or pelvic stretching, and what it does is it pumps up one butt cheek and then it deflates it and pumps the other one up, and it kind of moves you around like this, so that way your butt doesn't get sore sitting in the seat for a long time. That's really great, and it would definitely make taking a road trip in the GV70 so much easier and so much more comfortable. And being that this is a Genesis product, you're gonna get all of the safety suite carried over from Hyundai and Kia. And also, since this is a Genesis, it's gonna be a bit better than those two other brands because, you know, this is their flagship, this is their premium brand. They gotta have a little bit better tech. So we've got our lane keep assist, we have our blind spot monitors, and another thing that's really cool too is when I put my turn signal on, in the gauge cluster, it shows me my blind spot. So I don't have to look over to signal a lane change, although you should. But it's nice to know that you have those options, and if I have to make a quick lane change abruptly, I don't have to just look around. So this 8-speed trans shifts very quickly, something that I've definitely come to appreciate in my time driving this car. It's responsive, and if you hit that kick down, it's gonna drop it down a few gears like that, so that way you have the most power that you could possibly get. And as you see, we're coming around a corner, and my lane keep assist is keeping me directly in the center of the lane. I've got my hands right here by the steering wheel, but you know what? The car is steering me, and I absolutely adore this feature in a modern car. It makes your commute so much easier. It makes your commute just so much more livable. Just get in the car and go. So this 3.5 liter V6 makes 375 horsepower and 391 pound-feet of torque. That might not seem like a lot, but for a vehicle that has a curb weight of under 4,000 pounds, that's plenty of power. Back in the day, my grandpa always said, to make a sports car, you gotta have 100 horsepower per 1,000 pounds. And the GV70 really lives true to that statement. That power to weight ratio feels super sporty in a chassis that feels this stable. And since this is a luxury car, I also have to assess it for its comfort. So let me put it into comfort mode. and let me just cruise this thing for a minute. First thing you can notice is it's extremely quiet in here. Once you put it into comfort mode, your suspension softens up, it absorbs all the bumps really nicely. I've got my cooled seats on, and it's very quiet in here. My daughter would absolutely love going for a ride in the back of the GV70 because not only is it quiet and comfortable for when it's nap time, but it's fun and it's fast when you throw it into sport mode. All right, so since this is a crossover, you're probably concerned with some back seat room. I'm 6 feet tall, I have plenty of headroom, I'm sitting behind myself, I've got plenty of knee room. If I want to, I can scoot my seat back a little bit, recline a little bit. I've got heated seats down here, I got my climate controls right here at my fingertips. I've got sunshades like I mentioned earlier, and this line from the front that I was talking about loving so much, it carries into the back. Come on, Genesis, you guys are killing it. And we've also got some more oval shapes, which is pretty cool. Another really, really awesome thing about this car at night is the ambient lighting. It's here on the center console, it's here in the doors, it lights up your crystal shifter, and it lights up across the dash. I absolutely love the lighting in the GV70. This thing drives unlike any other crossover in this segment, I promise you. Better than the RDX, better than anything Lexus makes. And this is a Genesis. This is a brand that's only been around for a couple years. But you know what? They hired the right people. They hired Peter Schreier, they hired Albert Bierman, and they're making some really, really great moves within the company. So in the center here, we have our drive mode selector, and that's really cool because it allows you to switch between snow, eco, comfort, sport, sport plus, and even a custom mode. And what that does is that completely changes the characteristics of this vehicle. It changes your steering feel, so in comfort, it's very like, you know, easy to drive, just calm, a chill car. And then if you put it into sport mode, your pedal gets really touchy, it wants to downshift quickly, it gives you a bit more power, it makes your steering tighter, and it also, this is my favorite part, it also changes your dampening. So as I'm driving down this road, if I have it in comfort and I go over a bump, you don't feel it. But if I put it into sport, I can suddenly feel the road. I can feel what the tires are doing. This chassis does a really great job of allowing you to feel what the car is doing. You can feel wheel slip happening. You can feel all the traction. And this thing really has a great, great all-wheel drive system. I've been absolutely blown away driving this GV70. It's a really great car for the money. And honestly, I think it's killing the Germans. So in conclusion, if I was looking for a two-row SUV, something in this segment, something that's got a good amount of power, something that I could pick my mom up in and just be comfortable, but then go out on the weekends and have a nice cruise through some twisty roads, this would be it. But I need a three-row. So we'll have to save that conversation for the next review. Thanks again for watching, guys. Again, my name is Steve with McGrath Imports, and we'll see you in the next one.
There is no need to stay away.